Hi, I want clips. We're going to be doing a Q&A with me today, and I'm very excited to be doing this with you guys. So I have some questions here that asked that I'm going to answer for you guys. The first one is, do you have any other fetishes besides fin and femdom? If yes, what is your favorite out of them? Let's be clear, fin is my favorite. It's always going to be, and you don't really get anything else unless you do fin with me. I personally don't like to be dogged. I don't find it attractive when a man tries to dog in bed. It would take a lot for me, I think, to switch for the right person, and even then, I don't know how I feel about that. But one I actually do like, I wouldn't consider this like being dogged. I just think that this is like, I would have to say goals. I like to give goals and I like to be on. There's that. And I have been and I have done. And I just like that. Like, I think it's like and like dirty and nasty. There's something about it that just is hot. So the next question is, do you enjoy making gay humiliation clips? And do you think you'll make any themed clips in the future? So I actually really do enjoy making gay and bi humiliation clips, like encouragement clips. I would say that's one of the first like themes that I started out with in my clip career. Not in like the early days, that I feel like I was like kind of all over the place. But when I really started to get into it is when I would say that it was something that stuck with me just because it was received so well. I felt I was very authentic while filming, and I think that was read through like the audience when you would watch. And I do get a lot of praise for my gay and bi humiliation clips, and I think it's justified. I think that I do make really good content for that in that category, and I'm still going to be. In terms of C content, the right C can be a great relationship, and I've had certain relationships with that were great and it was short-lived, but they were still pretty great. The other times were the worst relationships I've ever had, just because of like what comes with a lot of stuff, which is like a lot of neediness. And I think do get a bad rep in the community, but they have shown time and time why. I would do themed clips. It's just it invites a lot in that I don't want to deal with, honestly. So I don't really know, but maybe. What is an underrated, less noticed quality, physical or mental, of yours you don't get enough credit? Thing they're willing to admit doing. So I already did, and that's getting on. What is an underrated, less noticed quality, physical or mental? I'm really funny. It's hard to convey on camera, especially like this. I still get nervous in front of the camera. I do. I don't think a lot of people would admit that, but I don't care. I still get nervous in front of the camera. Sometimes it's still hard for me to be fully myself in front of the camera. I would say that I'm a really funny person just in my regular day-to-day life. It would not get noticed in this space, and that's fine because I don't really think that that's what this space is for anyway, so it's okay that it goes unnoticed, honestly. But some of my best and close do get to see that side of me, and they love it. So when and how did you realize that controlling the is your thing and excites you? I guess I've known for a pretty long time. I don't think it was something I knew in high school. I think in high school I was very shy. I can still be very shy. It's just I was way more shy in high school, and I didn't really know myself like at all during that time. As I got older, I would say that I was always the more dominant person in my relationships. It was just I like topped from the bottom, which I think a lot of women do. I think a lot of men are scared of their girlfriends for the most part, and I think a lot of women don't know how to channel that like dominant energy and be very like forward about it, whereas I am now in my life. I'm very forward about it. When I first I guess noticed was in my past few relationships. I just never felt, anytime a man tried to lead me, it just didn't feel right. I always felt annoyed or like maybe I just don't like this person. And I think really what it was is that my needs weren't being met because I just felt like I should always have the control and just like the say in what's going on. Probably like my early 20s is when I figured that out for myself. Biggest challenge, obstacle you had to face as a femme content creator, and how did you overcome it? Probably filming in front of the camera and trying to show the audience what I wanted them to feel. Always felt like I wasn't saying exactly what I wanted to say, or maybe I forgot to say something that I planned to say earlier on in the day. Just being comfortable in front of the camera, and I still have a lot of trouble with that. Even now, like, I will still plan out how I want a clip to go. This is something I have so much trouble with, is that if it's not like how I envision it in my head, I don't want to put it out for people to see, because I'm not putting out how I wanted them to see the clip, so it's just trash at that point to me. And I need to stop doing that, because I think that people are gonna buy it anyway, enjoy it anyway. It's just, I'm so critical of my work and of myself, and I'm always like, you can do better, you can be better, and like everything that I do, so everything just feels like at some point, and that's something I really do need to get over. Also, learning how to edit. Most content creators and most clip artists would say that editing is the worst part of making clips and making content. It's just very frustrating. That's mainly what it is, because I love seeing the final product of something. I think that's so great. The process of actually editing something and sitting at your computer for hours and hours and hours, you should be getting paid so much for this kind of work, honestly. Findom should always be a requirement when it comes to this kind of content, because the amount of editing that clip artists have to do for this is so insane that you wouldn't believe. I guarantee that you cannot do what we do. Like, you just can't. It's really hard, and it's a lot of stress. I don't even know what I was saying. All right, that's my obstacle. The obstacle is learning how to edit and trying not to get so frustrated. So our last question is, would you make a one-off video of you being No, I would not do that. The reason I would not do that is because I said it earlier, but it just, if a man tried to me, if anybody tried to me, I would cringe. It just, like, it doesn't feel right. It just makes me want to coil back into myself and go get the hell off of me. That's my honest, true feelings about that. I just don't think that that would make me feel comfortable in that kind of setting, and I think I would start to laugh. And then under that question, the same person wrote, which video surprised you in its popularity? Which one surprised you by how little it did? One of my first face clips, I was really surprised by how well it did, honestly, because it was new for me doing it. Didn't know how I was gonna go over the first time that I made a face clip, like a really close-up kind of. It was really intimate, so I think that's why it went over really well. But I just wasn't expecting it. Like, I wasn't expecting it to chart in the top 150 of the clips for the day, and then it steadily stayed there for a bit. I was really expecting that. The least one I would say is Drink from my series Sniff Smoke. Drink, I think, probably did the least well out of all of them, and I was a little bit surprised because I feel like when I get people that want to do it, they always want to. Besides, I would say that drinking is like the other big thing for the people that want to do sessions with me. So I was a little surprised that it did like the least well out of the three. I thought that it would do either the second or like the first out of all of them. I'm really proud of that series. Honestly, that's probably the best series I've ever done, and it is what charted me to the top 10 in the top DOMs on the leaderboard for the month of June, and that was really nice for me to have because I've never experienced that before. Thank you so much, guys, for all of your questions. I loved answering all of them for you guys, and thank you, Ilon Clips. This has been so great. Thank you.